And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're looking at Kaiju Incorporated. Now in this game, there are giant monsters that are coming and destroying humanity and people are fighting back against them, blah blah blah. You don't really care about that too much except on how it benefits you. You are a company trying to figure out a way to use this to your benefit. Maybe I can learn how to take these kaiju and turn them into sandwiches. Or maybe I can find a way to sell people protection against them. You are an entrepreneur who is just trying to find a way to make a quick buck or $1,000,000 or what have you in this game. It's a little card game. Can be played from 2 to 5 players. Let's take a look at how it works. Each player is going to pick a starting corporation. Each corporation is based in a specific city. So this one's based in Osaka, Beijing, etc. And it's also going to be a way to keep track of your money. You start with 5 money. You'll start with another card, a Kaiju attack here, a track, and a Eureka track. And you start with 3 cards, 1 yellow, 1 red, 1 blue. They're the same 3 cards for everyone. I mean, they have different terms on them, but they're essentially the same thing. They're all 2 money, 1 science, and 1 kaiju. So there's also 3 of these new products out here. These are things that you are using the kaijus, like making some acne cream or having a baby advertising mascot, or maybe a kaiju-proof depleted uranium siding or an amusement park, etc. And there's 1 kaiju. So you can see here it's Mecha Conga. Now, what players are going to do is each round of the game, you're going to draw 1 more card than the number of players. So let's say we're playing a 3-player game. We would draw these 3 cards. And starting with the start player, which is going to be passed around each round, they're going to take 1 of the cards. You can take it and build it. So maybe I'll say, hey, I want this Tianxia Telecom here, and I'll pay 3. So you just pay 3 here on your track, and you put this in front of you. So I put this down here with my cards that I have. I could have also bought this semiconductor here, and that would have cost 5. Or you can take 1 of these cards and discard it, but you then activate all the buildings you have of that color. So let's say I activate this one. That means I would get 2 money, 1 science, and 1 kaiju. And so the more cards you have of that kind, the more you'll activate. So if I had, for example, both of these cards in front of me, I'd get 3 money, 2 science, and 1 kaiju. Some cards, like the blue card I bought here, will activate when someone else does. So anytime someone else does a blue card, I'm going to get 1 money and 1 kaiju. And you're moving these around. Now the money's pretty obvious. You make the money go up so you can buy more cards. The Eureka, as soon as this hits the sciencing, and when it goes around 1 time, you get to take 1 of these 3 cards. These cards can be worth points at the end of the game. This one here gives me 2 points for every technology card. The blue cards I have at the end of the game. This one here is worth 10 points, but it's worth -1 for every blue card that you have. This one here is 2 points for each construction card that you have. And there's all sorts of ones. Some are just worth straight victory points. These are on the bottom because when 1 of these shows up, that's the end of the game. But there's all sorts of one. This one just straight 5 points. There's a bunch of those, like the Kaiju Burgers and the Kaiju Foie Gras. For each 2 of income in your tableau, you get a victory point. So these are going to be worth various points at the end of the game. When your kaiju hits, the kaiju will attack you, and it will do something bad to you. This one here reduces your research to 0, and then a new one comes out. Here, your bank account is reduced to 0. Here, you have to discard a construction card. Here, you discard a rival's turn construction card. So whenever the kaiju comes, the kaiju will attack you, and then a new kaiju is drawn who will attack the next person who hits this. And that's pretty much it. You're just going to keep going. You're going to be going through here and buying all sorts of cards. Most of the cards are going to be, that's a blue card, should be in that pile. Most of the cards are just going to give you various things here. There's some that actually give you negative kaiju. That's pretty good. As you can see, it's pretty expensive. Some of these will let you steal a card from somebody else, or this one lets you take a random card from the face down, but some will let you steal a card from another person and you pay them for it. So it might cost them 6. You pay them the money that they bought that building with. It's a hostile takeover, but it's not too bad because at least you give them money for that. And there's just various things in the bottom of these. Many of them go off on your turn, and many of them go off on someone else's turn. At the end of the game, the most points is the winner. You're going to get points for these blue cards. But you will also get points. Each person has a certain specific city that they're trying to get cards for. So Melbourne here, 5 points if you have the most of them at the end of the game. And the most different number of cities. So you count how many different cities you have, and you'll get a bonus of points. You can flip over this card and this card if you want to keep track of your points at the end of the game. And that's how you play. Quick correction to the beginning of the video, 3 to 5 players. And I haven't played it with 2, I just assumed it was, but I don't know why it wouldn't work with 2. I guess maybe only drawing a couple cards back and forth. And the rival cards, I think you could play it with 2. But anyway, this game is a great 3-player game, and it's not bad as a 4 at all. I like 4-5 is maybe a little longer than I like it to be, but even that's not that bad because there's the same number of cards in the middle. This game is essentially kind of a drafting game. You put these cards in the middle, each person takes one. Are you going to build the building, or are you going to run your machine, essentially? You're going to use those cards. At the beginning, everyone has 3 cards that are exactly the same. So it might take a bit to get things moving, but once people start buying cards, things change. And you're going to sit there and on your turn, you're going to say, do I want to buy a building? What building do I want to buy if I can afford one? Do I want to buy one that goes off on other people's turns? Do I want to buy one off that goes on my own turn? Do I want to buy a whole bunch of one color so that when I get a card of that color, it really, it's really do some awesome things? Or do I want to buy other colors that just go off on other people's turns so no matter what happens, I'm getting something? And I kind of like that idea. When you take the card, you also might say, they have 3 blue cards. I'm gonna take this blue card and use that one because I don't really care what color I get, so why should I let them really make their machine go off? Or do I really want to run my red machine when it's going to help 2 other players? However, despite all that, you're also watching that kaiju track. Sometimes I will run something that makes someone else's machine go off. Yeah, you got a money, you got a science point, but your kaiju track went up, and now that kaiju there, which I really did not want, one that gets rid of one of my cards, is going to attack you instead of me. Because your kaiju track is going to go around, right? You want it to go around when there's a monster there that doesn't affect you as much. Oh, my money went to 0, I had no money anyway, ha ha ha. That type of thing. And so the game is kind of fun that way because your tracks are all moving around. You're never going to not get anything. You're never going to get shut out. This isn't necessarily a rich get richer style game where I have a ton of cards, you can't stop me. No, when you have a ton of cards, that also means probably your kaiju track is moving around more often. Now you are watching the cities that you're taking. You're trying to get those bonuses at the end of the game because having a lot of different cities and having the most of your cities, that's not nothing. But getting those blue cards is important too. So you want to get cards that increase your technology as fast as you can, or your science, moving that around. But you need a good money flow. And to get both of those, you're probably moving the kaiju track faster. This is a simple, really entertaining game. And you know what? This game actually replaces Machi Koro. Now you say, wait a minute, in Machi Koro you're rolling dice, it's a very different game. You're right, but I think I like this one better because there's still luck in this on which cards show up, but it gives me more control. I'm picking a card, and it affects me, and it also affects everyone else on their turns. And so when other people are going in this game, and by the way, turns are pretty quickly, I'm watching because they might make one of the cards that I have that says your opponent's turn go off. Or the cards that I'm going might go off on someone else's turn. And there's this constant flux and change. And when the last blue cards come out and the game ends, it really feels satisfying. This is a small package with a really fun theme. The kaiju theme, the artwork in this game is great. I like that idea. We're making money off monsters. But I also like the idea of just the game itself, the mechanisms, and it's a good match. I didn't know anything about this game when it came here. I don't play a ton of games from Evil Hat Productions, but this one is really good. In fact, I'm going to stick it in my collection. I like it that much. Definitely check it out. Kaiju Incorporated. Dice Tower Judgment. Excellent.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Pane ukskimni.